Okay, welcome ladies and gentlemen to the latest weekly report for the 17th of November 2014 and covering off the week that has just passed. And as we're talking about finance, must inform you that trade does involve risk of loss. No advice is all advice is of a general nature only, nothing is of a personal advice nature. Past performance not to be construed as a reliable indicator of future performance. Great, now with that out of the way, let's have a look at our trades and just in a wrap up of last week. Let's just bring up the index daily. And so yeah, just zooming into last week, it was a bit of a weaker week. We started off around 5,500, ended up around about the 5,400 mark, so dropping about 2% or around 100 points over the course of last week. We had two entries. We had one new entry on QBE as a covered call, had a new entry on NAB as a bought call option. We had one adjustment on the Santos protected equity buy, so we're just rolling down the puts to take advantage of the lower prices there. And we had one close which was a profit on Brambles, ended up at 42% profit, which on level 2 was $495 profit there on Brambles. So that a bit of activity, about four trades slash adjustments. So let's provide an update on those plus everything else we've got going on now. BHP, along with the iron ore players, we're not in a Fortescue trade, but I'll bring up Fortescue at the moment just to highlight what's happened there last Wednesday, hitting a low of $2.80, and if we go back, probably have to go into a 5-year chart, you can see it has hit around those spots intraday in the last 2 years. You can see it's had quite a successive bounce. I think what the shock was last week, not only was iron ore still around $75 or so, but a lot of the forecasters and crystal ballers were suggesting that iron ore was going to move down to $50. So just some of those quite alarmist kind of calls there coming out in the market, and that did spook Fortescue, it spooked Rio and practically all the iron ore miners and those involved in that gain. BHP, you can see also last Wednesday had spiked down, not as far down as it was a few weeks ago. But with our positions there, we're both protected at, some of you protected at 33.50, which is where it's back at today. Some others are protected at $34, so we're just hanging around this $34 mark, give or take $1. Did even push up to $35 5 or 6 trading sessions ago, which was quite solid there, and use that opportunity to sell some BHP call options. So that was actually another trade that happened very much at the start of last week. Got some 35.50 call options sold for December for the 35.50 put, 33.50 put traders. Alright, so BHP by and large obviously needs some improvement there. The resources sector has been suffering. NAB, however, has been a good trade. Currently sitting up about 2.5% there. This gap is just the dividend. Since fallen about 80 cents after that dividend, but we were able to sell that call option 2 weeks ago prior to that dividend, so at the $34 for December mark. So that trade doing nicely. QBE we also entered at the start of the week. That's up a couple of cents, not a great deal because it hasn't done hasn't done a lot over the last couple of days, but some of that time to go kicking in. So that's QB. Origin has had a pullback again over the last couple of days there. A little bit of a recovery this morning. That position down 2%. That's out to 14.75 in March, but still a fair distance away from the stop level, which is around $13 if I recall. So it'd be good to see a turnaround those energy prices soon to help the energy plays, Woodside, Santos, Origin, and the rest. Right, let's turn over to the spreads now. First up, Brambles. I'll just do a quick recap on this because we were able to lock in the profit there on, the 11th. So on this one, so just hanging around that $9.80 mark, and it's actually starting to turn around. So I might look at a new re-entry there, but still early days. It's still in that box of around $9.84 on the upside, and that $9.70 mark or so on the downside. So a little bit of a more of a retracement there. We'll be looking at a re-entry, and ideally looking to get that bounce back towards that $9.60, $9.80 mark. As you can see, we've got solid support around this $9, $9.10 mark, and a bit of resistance, $9.80. You can see it's turned around there about 3 times in the last 6 months. Right, Wesfarmers, look, it's close call this one. We've got till next Thursday. You can see that it actually has already starting to form a reversal pattern there. We're in the money on our bought option, which is good. So we're going to walk away with something. If today was expiry, stock's now at, as you might be able to see on top left of your screen, 43.84. We've bought the 43.90, and we've got a break even of there about 43.30. So a couple of down days. That trade can work quite favourably, and you can see just how quickly the stock can move. Can quite easily move $1.50 in a week. So yeah, it might just be right on the timing here. Should be nice. Iluka, we've made a couple of cents there. It did shoot up quite nicely the week after we entered. I think we entered on this day, which is still the lowest one there. 2 days later, we're already up about 70%, which is nice. If it had one more day up and we were hitting 100% after 3 days, then I'd be more inclined to take it there. Alas, didn't happen, but could be forming a double bottom formation there pattern, and has been gaining a couple cents each day since. So just priced it a few seconds ago. The option's at 26 cents. We bought at 23, so we're up about 12% there. CSL. This one we're up about 13%, but this is again off last week, and with it moving to where are we now? Okay, so we're totally in the money there. The stock's at 38.83. We bought the 81s to the 79, so at 78.83. If it closed right now, we'll be locking in a full profit, which is about 105%. But at the moment, as you can see, it's still sort of stuck in that at the top of the range there, and today is an expiry day. So when I priced up on Friday's close, it was at 13%. Probably now it'd be sitting somewhere around that estimate would be about 60%. So it's definitely getting there at a 60% profit. We're looking at about $460 on a level 2 trader. So if we can push that out towards $600, I think everyone would be happy locking in a result like that. And finally, to wrap it up for the day, NAB. So NAB cover calls doing nicely. Can't say that it's quite the same for the option, but we did get in on a much lower price. Level 2 was only $270. Level 1 was, I think, only $130, just because we set up the trade, and then within that sort of hour that takes for me to wrap up the trade and get the orders out via Brandon and the team, yeah, the stock fell away, and that was quite favourable because we were able to enter at a lower price. But it is a December option. It's still got a month to go, and it's quite possible to see that moving back towards that $34 or $35 range. We'll just have to wait and see, but got time on our side for that one. Alright, so that Brambles trade that closed out actually wrapped up 5 5 profitable spread trades in a row. So CSL's probably the closest one next. That would be nice to see coming in line, and Wesfarmers also. Excuse me. Wesfarmers also lining up quite nice if we see another 30 cent to $1 drop there. Alright, I'll wrap it up there. Got the phone ringing. So if you have any questions, you know where to find us. Give us a call. Happy to answer any of them that you may have. And we'll talk again this time next week. Thank you.